Hello class, and welcome to the video lecture on our final reading of Style with our final group of terms from Everything's an Argument with Readings. On pages 326 to 328 we have our final examples of figures of speech. Um, Again, if you have any questions about any of the figures of speech we've gone over throughout the semester, feel free to give me a call. I love how the book puts all the terms in bold, has the clear definitions, gives examples. Right? Remember, these figures of speech are used for effect, for emphasis. Um, and the first one on page 326, anaphora, right? And we went over this in the last video, but it's that repetition. So alliteration is when you have repetition of beginning letters and sounds at the beginning of words. Anaphora is when you actually repeat the words, right? Stay home, stay safe, stay connected, right? Stay, stay, stay. I came, I saw, I conquered, right? Emphasis on I, emphasizing the first person speaker, whereas with stay safe, stay home, stay connected, emphasizing on stay there, don't go anywhere else. So anaphora occurs for emphasis. Um, if you had used anaphora maybe in essay one, right? Uh, Eat broccoli, eat cauliflower, eat green. I don't know, something like that, eat plants, eat veggies, eat green, eat plants, eat fruit, eat green, something like that. Eat, eat, eat. So again, anaphora, it's very effective for repetition. And just as we see it in slogans for advertisements and titles of essays, we also see it in song lyrics and things of that nature. So pay attention for anaphora. Antithesis. Okay, so the word antithesis, if you just use it in a sentence, right, it means the opposite. um, if you wanted a Diet Coke and somebody gets you, I don't know, what would be the opposite of a Diet Coke? A regular Coke, right, because it has sugar in it. And you say, man, this is the antithesis. I wasn't trying to drink sugar today, right? So antithesis is just a fancy word that means opposite if you use it in a sentence. Now, if you use it in a sentence as a figure of speech, right? Antithesis is when you use contrast or opposition, right, to emphasize something, right? Um, so the use of antithesis is very very effective, right? The use of parallel words or sentence structures to highlight contrast or opposition on page 327. One of the more famous examples of antithesis, right, starts the novel, right? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, right? A Tale of Two Cities. Uh, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, right? Best, worst, wisdom, foolishness. Um, so when you use opposition for contrast, another popular example, you're easy on the eyes but hard on the heart, meaning you're easy to look at, you're good looking, but you're mean. You broke my heart. You're easy on the eyes, but you're hard on the heart. So antithesis is when you use words that mean the opposite, right? Uh, Contrast for emphasis. Because how could something be easy and hard at the same time? How can it be the best of times and the worst of times? Right? It's emphasizing that it was both concurrently in opposition. Inverted word order, when you invert something, you flip it, right? One of the most famous, so you just switch the words around, right? One of the most famous examples of in inverted word order, right? When Yoda says, hard to see, the dark side is, right? The parts of a sentence or clause are not in the usual subject verb order, right? To make an argument memorable. And parallelism involves the use of grammatically similar phrases or clauses for special effect. List nouns with nouns, list phrases with phrases, list ing words with ing words, right? When you're listing out your support, right? America is not a nation of vegetarians because of our culture, because And meat is very popular because of its taste, texture, and price. Taste, texture, price. See how that's all parallel? Nouns with nouns. Uh, Meat is still very popular because it is filling, it is tasty, and it is uh, I don't know, pick another word that fits with the parallelism. And that's why it's not easy to just come up with parallel ideas off the top of your head. Um, so again, when you're listing your supporting ideas at the end of your intro paragraphs, which then become the topics for the topic sentences, make sure they're listed as parallel. And most of the essays that we've read, and particularly A Call to Improve Disability Accessibility for the Mobility Impaired, right? That sample student essay from this week, she lists her ideas on a very parallel fashion at the end of the intro paragraph and then addresses each one of them in the topic sentences. So make sure parallelism, right? The use of grammatically similar phrases or clauses, verbs with verbs, nouns with nouns, infinitives with infinitives, gerunds with gerunds, for special effect, for emphasis, right? So that being said, keep up the good work and try to use as many figures of speech as possible in your titles and your sentences so your arguments can also have emphasis. Thank you for your patience.